Alright, another original idea from the Disney in the summer blockbuster season. Those are always good. Okay, so Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is another movie directed by the always talented Brad Bird, the same man who brought us amazing animation such as The Incredibles and Ratatouille, and an awesome live action film like Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. This movie follows a girl named Casey played by Britt Robertson who mysteriously receives a pin that gives her a glimpse of Tomorrowland, as you guys have seen in the trailer. She wants to know how to actually get to this futuristic place, and from there, the adventure ensues. Obviously, there is so much more to the plot, but in a world where the trailers show every bit of detail, Tomorrowland's trailer actually has the decency to not show us anything. And I praise Disney for doing that. For it to label this movie as a sci-fi adventure slash mystery, you can't give anything away. When Brad Bird was announced for the project, I thought that is the perfect director because his track record of making good movies is going extremely well. But the thing with Tomorrowland is that he gave up Star Wars Episode 7 for this, which can be a huge mistake in some eyes. And it also gave me the feeling that Tomorrowland may be one of the most original sci-fis that we may get all year. There is until Star Wars The Force Awakens comes out. Tomorrowland ended up being just that. However, there were still flaws. I will touch on that later. Brad Bird gives us this visual experience once again, proving he knows how to treat an audience's eyes. The man clearly knows how to work a camera through his direction, and it was brilliant in this film. From the aesthetic to the visuals of Tomorrowland itself, you got to see a grand scale of how creative and imaginative Brad Bird's vision really is. And if you guys know me, huge fan of futuristic-ish cities, and you got to experience that through the technology and the gadgets that were used, and I can imagine that Star Trek fans will love this movie for. Kinda reminded me of Big Hero 6 in a way. They made science feel cool. I'm seeing that a lot in Hollywood right now, and that feeling is not going away anytime soon. And the performances were actually good too. Casey, played by Britt Robertson, as the main character, she was able to carry the movie. The story was playing off as a mystery unraveling itself, and it was being told in Britt Robertson's point of view. Around her, the characters know stuff that she doesn't, so when she asks, oh well, what's going on? You're in the same boat with her as well. So for the movie to go in that direction of telling the story, it executed it very well. Now George Clooney, who I'm not going to touch on much of his character, he gave a good performance as well. These two leads worked well off each other. It had style and a very realistic approach considering how their relationship is in the movie. But for Britt Robertson, it looks like she'll still have a bright future ahead of her, and for George Clooney, nothing's gonna happen to him. He's George Clooney. But the one who absolutely stole the show was this 12-year-old girl named Raffi Cassidy. I think that's how you say her name. Sorry if I mess it up. Again, not going to touch much on her character because she is still involved in this whole mystery unraveling thing. All I'll say is what she does and how she delivers her character, I guarantee you'll walk out of the theater with her as your favorite character. Now, besides all the acting and the visuals being good, the story itself may be disappointing for some, because the movie itself thrived off the journey of getting to Tomorrowland, not the place itself, which is fine for the most part. A part of me wishes I would see more of Tomorrowland because the world was so beautifully designed. I didn't want a scene containing that to ever end. But to sum it up, it was about 80% of the journey, 20% of Tomorrowland. And at times it could be extremely predictable, taking away some of the mystery aspect of the movie. Like for example, the huge major villain reveal. I was able to point out who the villain was before I even saw the movie. Seriously, look up the cast and whatever logical guess you may have and you say, oh, that's the villain right there, I'm here to say you're absolutely correct. And that's not really the only time. As the movie progresses, you kind of go 2 steps ahead of it and you'll be in a place that you would expect. Plenty of times it doesn't live up to the hype of being a mystery movie, but more of an adventure movie, but I'm alright with that. But for Tomorrowland, it's all about the journey. So in the end, Tomorrowland had a good original story, amazing visual effects. Brad Bird's record is still going strong. The performances were good, but Raffi Cassidy though, she was the true star of the film. Can be predictable in some moments and sometimes it doesn't deliver well as a mystery movie, but it's the journey itself that was fun and overall making it a fun movie. Because I say if you want to see Tomorrowland, see it at the matinee price. I don't think it's worth seeing again though. Brad Bird, you skipped out on Force Awakens, man. Have you guys seen Tomorrowland? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, leave a comment below. And as always, there's a link for my Twitter and my Facebook in the description as well. Keep in contact with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But in the meantime, I have to get going to go marry Britt Robertson because thank goodness she redeemed herself from the longest ride, that boring piece of crap. Sadly, it's not ever gonna happen, most likely. I'm gonna go cry now.